Hi, I'm Anthony from learningtoplaytheguitar.net. In this video we're going to look at two chords, E minor and G, and also obviously learn how to change between these two chords. To play the G chord, we'll first start with our first finger now on the second fret of the 5th string here. Then we place our second finger diagonally up here on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then down the bottom near the floor here on the 1st string we add our 3rd finger into the mix. And this is a 6-string chord, so we'll just give the whole 6 strings a pluck and just check that everyone's ringing out nice and clear like that, hopefully. So a few things to watch out for this shape in particular. One is often people find that this bottom finger here stretches or back too far, or the hand in general might be back too far, and it's just not enough pressure on the bottom 1st string here, so make sure a good pressure there, that finger's placed close as you can to the 3rd fret there, and you can get good pressure there to make sure that it rings out. Also, the other thing to watch out for here in general is that the top fingers here, these fingers 1 and 2, don't lean over too far and end up sort of blocking strings. In particular, this finger here, the second finger, doesn't block the edge of the 5th string, and also the 1st finger here doesn't block the edge of the 4th string. So just make sure, again, it's a bit of a stretch this one compared to say doing a D or an E chord, but making sure that the fingers are all upright as much as we can, so we've got like a little bit of a tunnel shape sort of happening there as I angle back in this sort of shape there, so you have nice clarity of like a little tunnel there, if you like, to allow the strings to ring out without being blocked by the edges of the other fingers. So that's G. Now the E minor chord, there's two ways of playing that. So the first one I'll show you is how it relates to coming from E major, which we've looked at in the previous video. So now, if we went E major again, that was your 1st finger there on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then adding those 2 fingers over the top there like that, with number 2 there and number 3 there tucked into the middle of the pattern on the 2nd fret there, on the 5th and the 4th strings. So E major was that 6-string chord there again. So in that sort of fashion. What you can do to play E minor is simply I'll angle the guitar down a bit there, you just take your 1st finger off, and then you have a 6-string minor chord. So the minor chords versus your major chords, you get sad sounding chords, while your major chord, add that 1st finger back there, is your happy sounding chord. So happy, sad. So a little change between the two there. So that's one way of playing E minor, but in particular here, because we're looking at changing from G to E minor, it's actually easier if we play E minor using fingers 1 here on the 5th string and finger number 2 there. So there's a couple of ways of playing a few chords, just like with A major, the 2 sort of main fingering patterns we showed you before. So now you have E minor with fingers 1 and 2, and then the cool thing with this is that when we want to go from E minor like this to G, we simply move that finger over there, and finger number 1 stays where he is, so have a nice anchor point finger again, and you add your 3rd finger down the bottom when we're playing G. And so I'll just practice this a few times. Back to E minor. Jump the finger back there. Might have to shuffle back a little bit to make that fit. As you saw, I just did a very slight movement there to E minor again, making sure fingers are all upright, not leaning over and blocking as I mentioned on all the other chord shapes as well. Good pressure. Back to G. Do a little bit of a shuffle, make sure the hand's not too far back from the frets, and there's G. A little squish back there, but my 1st finger's touching the fretboard all the way, so it gives me some sort of pivot point as well, or an anchor point as some people call it. So it makes it a bit easy in taking all my fingers off. So some sort of connection to the fretboard between the two. So practice that about 10 times a day, and these two chords are used a lot together as a pair in songs, so it's a very handy change to get this under your fingers. So give that one a go.